You're listening to the Crochet Conversations podcast with Inez and Mell, and this is episode 50, a crochet house tour. Hello and welcome back everybody to the pod.
Hi guys.
So you guys know, if you listened to the previous episode, that we're actually pre-recording this because we are leaving on a holiday.
Holiday.
So by the time you listen to this on Sunday, it would be smack middle of our trip.
Yeah.
So we're leaving on Wednesday, which is the 11th, and coming back on the following Wednesday, which is the 18th for us. So this episode is coming smack in the middle of that, which is why we decided to pre-record it. But you know what, a decision, because it's quite a crazy rush for us.
Yeah, definitely is. So we are just, trying to
make it work. Yeah. So to give you guys an idea of how insane it is Tuesday night at 10:30, almost 11 p.m. on a Tuesday night. We have to leave the house on Wednesday morning at 3 a.m. because our flight leaves at 6:30 in the morning.
It's a really, really early flight. Yeah.
So, but we didn't really have a choice because it's either a really early flight or a really late flight, and we kind of have to be there for something. So we have to wake up at 2 in the morning
to get ready and then head to the airport. Yeah,
to leave the house by 3 in the morning, which is insane because it's already 11 p.m. on Tuesday night.
Yeah, but we really didn't want to skip and miss, one of
an
our
episode.
podcasts. Yeah, an episode. So, yes, so here we are now.
And I mean, I'm bringing my laptop with us, but I didn't want to risk not having, internet connection, and not being able to find the ideal recording situation, or what if we get caught up, because we're also traveling with some friends. So here it is. Pre-recorded episode.
Yeah, we can always rest on the plane or something.
Yeah. So today, as the title suggests, we want to give you a little tour of our house through the world of crochet.
Yes.
Now, I just want to clarify, I feel like this episode is important because I do get the question a lot when people find out that I'm a crochet designer and we run a crochet brand.
Yeah.
The number one thing they ask is, oh, so you must have a lot of crochet things in the house. And I bet you have a ton of crochet things, I'm sure that you are just forever using crochet things. I can't imagine, all the crochet things you have. And I just wanted to make this episode to set the record straight. And the answer is, yes, we do have a lot of things. You are absolutely right. We do. We are swimming, drowning in crochet
because
stuff.
Why not, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I think Mel has mentioned to me this many times before. She never has to buy anything anymore because whatever she wants,
we can just crochet it.
Yeah, or whatever we want, we can just crochet. So we thought that in this episode it'd be kind of fun we had to walk around the house with a pen and paper, trying to figure out just how many crochet things we own, because it's a lot.
It's funny because we see it and we sort of use certain things we use every day. Yeah. But when we had to do the plan, prepare for the episode, and we had to walk around, we had to actively look for the items and go oh yeah, we have that, and we have this. There
are certain things that we use so often that we no longer see it as crochet. It's just something.
Yeah, exactly.
And to be honest, I didn't think that this list would be such a long list.
Yeah.
But it's different when you start to compile things together. Then you start to realize, oh shoot, I have a lot.
That a lot of things that are made, with yarn. Yeah.
So let's give you guys the tour starting from the very front of the house, and we're gonna virtually, audioly, that's the word, audioly, via audio, walk you through from the front of the house all the way through the house.
Yeah, so basically a house tour.
Like a mini house tour, okay? So let's just start with the house tour, shall we?
Yeah.
So we don't waste time, we're very unabashedly a crochet house, because the moment you walk up to our front door, there is a big, huge tapestry piece hanging on our front door.
Yeah.
And this piece is a Mandarin symbol that is usually put up during the Lunar New Year, like lunar calendar's New Year.
Yeah.
And it's not on purpose that it's hanging there. We're not superstitious or anything. But I did it to test out that pattern.
Yeah.
2 years ago, pre-COVID. And I hung it on the front door during that Lunar New Year in 2020.
Yeah.
and we've just never bothered to take it down, because if I take it down, where is it going to be in the house, wrapped up somewhere in some cupboard,
Why
right?
not,
Until
display it?
Yeah, until the season comes around again. So, and then COVID hit right at that time.
Yeah.
So and our door is like a dark brown wooden door, and this tapestry piece is in red, like bright scarlet red.
Yeah, so it really stands out.
Yeah, it really stands out. So you can't miss it that it's our house. So when I teach my crochet classes, and sometimes people come over to the house, to the home studio to have classes, when they arrive at the door, they will never get confused as to, is this the right house? Because there is a mega big red crochet piece hanging on our front door.
And I think this piece turned out really well because we were experimenting with it, and the pattern that we picked, like the particular word that we picked,
it's quite complex.
It's quite complex, and it wasn't as easy. So, but I think it turned out really well.
For that reason, I think it's why we decided to not
hang
take
it
it down. But actually, recently we did talk about wanting to change it up, because I really don't like it. Mel and I, or at least I personally, don't have a tie with that Mandarin character. I don't have a personal connection with this Lunar New Year. So, and I personally don't celebrate. So I've been wanting to change it out into something that was a little bit more relevant for us.
Yeah.
And actually, I did do a crochet pride flag.
Yes, you did.
But it's been in our frog finish basket. Because I've deliberately left all the tails undone in preparation for a TikTok video. Like, it's an idea of a TikTok video that I want to do, but it's been so long, and it's been on the back burner for such a long time that this TikTok trend is kind of past. It's over.
So you don't even know whether you want to continue with the video, right?
I don't. But then, so now what I'm doing is, every time I teach a class and I have to, explain how to sew in your ends, I use this piece, because I change colors all throughout, right?
Wow, that's smart.
Yeah. And in case you're wondering, the trend is the who's gonna know.
Yeah.
So I intended to make that video and like put all the tails and hide it at the back and then say, who's gonna know? No one's gonna know.
Yeah.
But it's been such a long time.
Well, I think that video, that sound is still
relevant.
Yeah.
But anyway, the point is that we want to change it such that there is a huge pride flag on our door instead. I think that would be a little bit more relevant to us.
I would prefer that too.
Yeah. Okay, so that's on our front door. Now, the moment you open the door and come in, where are you going to put your keys? Don't worry, we have a crochet basket for you.
Of course, where are you going to put your keys? Obviously in a crochet basket, right?
Yeah, so we have a crochet basket. So the moment you come in, there's like a little mantelpiece right by the window. And then on that little mantelpiece, we put a little crochet basket. So we've got all our keys there. We've got little bottles of hand sanitizer.
Yeah. Basically, things that you kind of need to quickly grab and go when you leave the house.
Before you leave the house, yeah. We've got a few like mask chains hanging around that basket. We've got a little crystal in the basket, because I love crystals.
Just like a little bit of
little
energy everywhere.
So that's it for the front door entrance. And also, on an unrelated note, it's not crochet, okay? This piece is not crochet, but we do have a floor mat that says "Welcome, Muggles." So it's a cute Harry Potter reference. So the moment you walk in, you can be clear of two things. One, this is a crochet household. Two, this is a Harry Potter household.
Yeah.
Because we have a floor mat that says "Welcome, Muggles," and above that, on like a little stool, kind of benchy stool area, we have a Harry Potter chest.
Oh yeah.
So that's just a little bit of something for you to know. Okay, so moving on into the living room, or this is like the living area where we spend most of our time. This is where we watch our television and have family nights and things like that. This is where I think we have the most obvious or the biggest crochet pieces, right?
Yeah, because it's all on the couch.
Yeah, it's all on the sofa. And in fact, when we were talking about the crochet things around the house, the first thought was, that's all we have, right? Because it's the most obvious thing. And we have cushion covers, like crochet cushions. We have 1, 2... Was it 2 or 3?
I think we have 3.
I think we have 3 crochet cushions. And it's made with the velvet yarn. I think it's the red heart velvet yarn, and it's done up in C2C.
Yeah.
So we have 3 crochet pillows, and then we have 2 crochet blankets. and which I've talked about this before. So I have one regular crochet blanket, and the other crochet blanket is the one that I mentioned in our current whips, which is the C2C blanket that I'm doing up in the Join As You Go.
Yes, yeah, you're trying to build up to have it bigger, like as if it's not big enough.
It feels big, but the moment you want to cuddle or pull it over yourself, then your toes just kind of stick out.
Yeah.
And if you want to cover all the way, to your neck, then your feet sticks out. And if you want to cover your feet, then you can't cover your shoulders. So
or if we are sitting all together and we sort of like want to cuddle and watch a movie together,
Yeah, so I thought that doubling it wouldn't be so big, but my goodness, the moment you double it, it feels humongous. Currently, as it stands, I'm almost to the final corner, and it covers practically the whole couch, and we have a big couch. It's like a 3-seater with a chaise lounge attached to it.
Yeah.
So it's quite it's quite
really
big.
When I see you working on it, it looks so heavy. You are being covered like literally by the blanket.
And it's difficult to turn every row.
Yeah, exactly.
Also in C2C, because it's such a big piece and you work diagonally, every time I turn my row, I lose my second, like, hang on, where's my other corner? Then I have to reorientate the whole blanket again. But yeah, it's a fun project. I'm almost done. I can't do it. I can't finish it before the trip, unfortunately, but it's so close to being done.
I know, right? It's one of those kind of project where you are almost at the end, but you can't seem to finish it. This
is like the final push, final 10% push.
Yeah.
So beside our sofa or the couch, we have a little green IKEA coffee table, which is a round, like a circle round coffee table. And because it's so green, I wanted to lighten it up a little bit. So I have a coffee table cover that I crocheted up in a mandala form, and it's a light cream color, and I use pretty chunky cotton yarn, so it looks really, really pretty. It's about 16 inches across, and it fits just perfectly into that little circle.
Do you make that specifically for this round table?
Yes, I did. Actually, I started the first 2 rounds of the mandala because I wanted to test this material, and then I realized that I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I left it alone. Then I'm kind of thinking, wait, but if I don't finish this, then I'll have this half done, really thick cotton yarn that I can't do anything with. So I contemplated frogging it, but then I think one day I was just trying to rearrange certain things, and it just went off like a light bulb. Like, oh my god, that's perfect. And the color is so pretty.
The color is so nice,
because this IKEA table is like a sage green, so it's not a really bright green, but we have a lot of green in the house, I think, as of right now. So I really wanted to whiten things up a little bit. So, and I think it's one of my favorite pieces in the living room, to be honest.
And also because that particular table is metal, right? So having kind of like a soft cushion on the top,
it softens the vibe a little bit. So that's really pretty.
Yeah, and in regards to the cushion covers, I really like it because I don't have a lot of things in the house that I make, right? So the cushion cover was something that I continue as you were building up on it, and I would take it as it's a partnership. It's a partnership whip.
So, I mean, what Mel was saying is that I made the first cushion cover in a navy blue color, and then I really wanted another one in grey. And in fact, I have this vision of having only crochet pillows or cushions on the sofa. So as I was like planning the color tones that I wanted, I passed Mel a ball of yarn to make that C2C cushion cover. And
during that period, I was just practicing my C2C.
That's right.
So I was so familiar with C2C, and you were immediately I'm so comfortable with just giving it to me and asking me to start on it.
And I was really excited that Mel was getting really comfortable with C2C. And that cushion cover actually is Mel's second C2C project in her life. So I will say that, she did quite well. So she did 2 C2C pieces. And we just single crochet the border together. So it's not a cushion that you could take apart to wash, but the yarn is really thick and chunky anyway, and we only use it because it looks pretty. It's not like dirty or anything. So the moment I realized that Mel could crochet in C2C, I was already,
I was a little bit worried because it was something that is going to be in the house, like displayed, right? Like people come over the house, they will see it, and I wasn't so confident at that point, I think.
No, but as I was saying, the moment I knew that you could crochet up in C2C, I was already planning on how I can make use of your hands to help me, because
Of course.
as a crochet business, and in fact, previous to Mel learning crochet, I was the only one doing all the crochet, which was incredibly tiring.
Yeah.
I did try to teach my son, how to crochet, but I mean, he's 14, 15, he's not going to want to do it, so he lost interest pretty quickly. So
Yeah, the only next person would obviously be me, right?
yeah, so when finally Mel, you know, it's one of those where she was pretty resistant to it, and then
Initially,
and after a while, she's like, I think I could do that. I'm like, oh, yes, you can. Come sit down. So it's quite nice because out of the different cushions, we have one that is C2C, made by me, and a Mel C2C.
Yeah, and like I said, it is nice to see your work being like placed around the house. Yeah, and I don't have many, but you know, it's just one of my first piece, I would say.
First few pieces, and people still use it. People do use it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's because it's nice thick velvet yarn, it's like really soft to sleep on, and like
Yeah,
everybody that naps on that pillow, right? Okay, so that's what it is for our living area.
Yeah. Now, moving to our dining area next, we actually don't have much crochet stuff here.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, what we have here is only one coaster cover holder.
A coaster, yeah. So we have a mustard color crochet basket, but a really small basket, because we have wooden coasters and we have 6 pieces of them, but they're loose pieces and they don't stack. So they're not like stacking, although they're identical. So they're not meant to stack. But that drives me insane because I have 6 of these identical things and they can't stack.
How do I store it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So, and honestly, I think coasters are clever when they can stack, so that you can, you know, store them in one set.
Yeah, exactly.
So what I decided to do was find a yarn that matched, and I used a mustard toned cotton, and I crochet a little basket that fits just nicely.
Exactly, the size is exactly to the coaster.
Yeah, it's so pretty. Now it looks like a little cake. You know.
Yeah, and her measurements were so accurate that if you see it, you would think that we bought it in a set like that.
Yeah, and in fact, we do have friends who come over, and as they're sitting around the dining area, they kind of fiddle with it and go, hey, where did you buy this?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I made it. I mean, not the wooden coasters, of course, those were bought, but...
Yeah, and the colour match was really good. Like, the mustard went like so well with that particular wood colour.
With the walnut, so it's walnut.
I see,
walnut colour, yeah. So it's actual walnut wood, so it's so pretty.
Yeah.
And the reason why we don't have that many things in our dining area is because our living and dining area is actually semi-connected. We have an open floor plan between the living area and the dining area.
Yeah.
It's 2 separate areas, but it's like an open space. So we don't have that much there, except do we used to have crochet table mats?
I think so.
I think we had like 1 or 2, but then I think we threw it away because it's made with like cheap acrylic. And to be honest, any of the coasters and things we use around the house is really like spare yarn. Spare mandalas.
Yeah. Like we have obviously a lot of coasters. Yeah, made with our extra
scrap yarn. Yeah. So
scrap yarn. Yeah.
Every time I test out a mandala and I decide I don't want it, and I decide it's too pretty to throw it to the dog or throw it to the cat, and then it becomes a coaster.
Yeah.
So that's our dining area. Let's move on into the kitchen, and we have a little bit more things in the kitchen. It's a little bit more exciting crochet-wise,
yeah.
So the moment you walk in the middle of our kitchen area, we have a big crochet dream catcher.
Yeah.
Like, it's like a mandala, which I turn into a dream catcher, and it's hanging with tassels smack in the middle of the
kitchen.
The kitchen. And to give you an idea of what this mandala looks like, it's got a little bit of that same mustard color as the coaster holder, and it has some green, some darker moss green around it, so it's very pretty, and the tassels are in dark green, like a moss green. We also have a crochet towel, and it's just a random square made up in lemon peel. It's just for us to dry our hands, just hanging on the little cupboard there.
And also we have a crochet netted bag that's hanging on the cupboard that we put other food items like onions and garlic.
Yeah, we use that for onions and garlics and ginger, and it's hanging on that same cupboard. And actually, I want to say that I don't really like this pattern. I'm quite unhappy with it. I actually wanted to throw it away or frog it when I first made it and I showed it to Mel. But Mel's like, what? No, give it to me. And then the next thing I know, it was stuffed full of garlic.
Yeah.
But it
I
looks...
will always find a use for one of your things.
And we've mentioned this before, right? We talked about how if you are the one that's crocheting, you are more likely to want to frog it if you're not happy.
Yeah.
But the person watching kind of feels painful for you on your behalf.
Yeah, and that's how I feel every time you always complete something already. And I guess the finished product isn't what you I guess what you expected. So you want to frog it, right? Which makes sense. I understand that. But...
And I will say this was a completed piece with the tails woven in, with the handle and everything. And it's made from really nice butcher's twine. So it's a really good quality light cream butcher's twine. But it was too small and I didn't have enough yarn. I
see.
I overestimated that ball of yarn, thinking that little hanging basket could be double the size.
Ah, right, okay.
So I wasn't very happy with it. I really, to be honest, I was so fed up with it that I wanted to just throw it away.
What was the purpose of this design initially when you were making it?
I think that was what I initially meant for it to.
Okay.
But I wanted to be able to fit onions and garlic and ginger in it.
Right.
But right now, it's just swapping between...
either one.
Oh, I remember. I wanted to put my onions in it. But I could barely fit 3 onions. That's how
small it is, yeah.
And I underestimated the opening. So when we put the garlic in, the smaller bulbs would come right through the hole.
Yeah, it'll fall out, yeah. Yeah, okay. I guess in terms of it being practical and using for that purpose, it's not...
Oh, Whiskey wants to leave the room. If you can hear scratching in the background, he's trying to leave because I think our boy's watching TV outside. Should we let him out?
Yeah.
Okay, the doggy has been dealt with. Welcome back.
dealt with.
Okay, so we have one last thing for the kitchen, and we mentioned earlier that we have a lot of mandalas lying around the house, or lots of crochet coasters, like one-off coasters, which are mandalas. Those are for smaller ones. For the bigger mandalas that I've made and hate, they've now become pot protectors.
Oh yes, okay, yeah.
So we use these, we put them in between pots when we stack them in the cupboard.
Yeah,
so
even
that the pots,
bowls as well, all our glass bowls, we put it in between.
So that the bowls don't scratch on each other or the pots don't scratch on each other. And actually I have to say that it's working really wonderfully, and I'm so surprised because we do have some really nice porcelain and clay, like hand molded plates and bowls, and we don't want them to be stacked weirdly because they're not all even sizes. So we have these, like a few of these thrown away mandalas that are now repurposed into pot, whatever.
And it's really, what a great way to use scrap yarn, honestly.
And some of them are not even round. Some of them are just swatches, which I've made a mistake with. But instead
random shapes.
Yeah, and instead of throwing it away, you know what I realized? That we didn't talk about this in yarn scraps.
Oh, right.
If we do a big enough piece, it could be fit between pots or plates.
So it really works. And you guys know I don't like throwing things away, even if it's odd or looks weird. And I take all of your like really weird,
funky ones.
Yeah,
and in fact,
projects.
those are the ones that work the best, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And if you Google, or if you search it on Pinterest, like pot protectors, like crochet pot protectors, you will see some that is specifically made. It looks like a starfish, and it's specifically made for pots. But it doesn't have to be that way. It could be any scrap pieces put together. And it works. It really works.
It really works.
There's no other way to use like scrap.
I even think I think that there are even some that still have the yarn tails sticking out.
I'm not surprised. Okay, that's not my domain, but going through. So Mel does all the organizing of the cupboards and the kitchen cupboards. So that's not my domain. I don't know how she's put them. I just know I have to put them back where she set them.
Yeah.
But I have no doubt.
Every scrap yarn has a place in the cupboard.
I have no doubt that some of them have tails sticking out.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not particular about it, and it's just you and me anyway. Who's gonna see?
Yeah.
Who's gonna know? So that is a tour of our crochet kitchen.
Crochet
kitchen.
Right.
Now let's move on into maybe like the bathrooms of our house.
Yep, you can go ahead and share because I think they're all yours.
Yeah. So in the bathroom, every crochet piece belongs to me.
Yeah.
Mel has nothing that belongs to her in the bathroom. So I'm just going to quickly go through the list because they're quite standard, I think. I don't know what's considered standard anymore.
Yeah, like standard
Standard
crochet
in a
items
crochet
you should
household.
have in your bathroom.
Standard crochet household stuff. So I have a soap scrubby. So that's like a small netted cotton bag that I put my soap scraps in it, because I like buying soaps from Lush.
Yeah.
And I think it's a little bit more eco-friendly to use them in like little soap scrubbies, because I like exfoliation, so I made one for myself. It's pink. Then I have a face cloth also made in cotton, this really pretty soft cotton, and I use that sometimes when I'm soaking in a bath and I want to cover my face, or I want to just have like a shower cloth somehow.
Yeah.
I have that, and it's in pink. And then I have a headband for my hair in case I want to wash my face and I don't want my hair to get wet. So I have like a really pretty twisted headband, and it's pink.
Also in pink. I was about to say in case you forgot to mention.
And so they're all in pink. And then we have one final thing, which is a hanging basket that is not in pink, but it's in purple, like a light purple.
Yeah.
And so in this hanging basket, we have a few like female sanitary items. We have like some tampons in it and things like that. So it's in easy access for us to reach, and it's high up, hanging on the wall. And it looks pretty because it's like a hanging basket. I don't know how to describe a hanging basket.
Yeah, and the thing is, when we have people over, especially all our friends,
they just help themselves to it.
Yeah, no, they always comment that it's so smart. It was like the best thing to have in the bathroom area.
Yeah, because we have the way our toilet is set up is that near the toilet bowl area there is a wall right beside it. It's adjacent to a wall, and we've decided to hang this basket above that on that same wall, so when you're on the stool, on the throne, it feels really intuitive to just reach over and grab any of your female sanitary products if you need to.
Yeah.
If you need like a spare tampon, whatever, you just grab it, and it feels so intuitive right there, and it's out of the way, it's not hidden. And we always have friends over at our house, right? And sometimes our friends would come over and they need to use that, and they don't have to ask because it's all there.
Yeah, and it's also not like out in the open, sort of. It's kind of nicely tucked in a really nice looking basket. Yeah.
And then our friends would come out and say, "Oh, that basket is so cute. By the way, I stole a tampon." So we're like, "Yeah, okay, go ahead. It's meant for use anyway." So that's actually my favorite piece. I must say that basket took a particularly long time because it's made up entirely in single crochet.
Oh.
And I don't remember why I struggled so much with it. I think I wanted to get it done within an hour.
Right.
But it's not something that could be done so quickly. I think I spent about 3 or 4 hours on that basket alone.
Yeah, it's not really small. It's kind of like a
quite big.
Clutch size.
Yeah. It's I think it's 15 inches across.
Yeah.
And the actual basket portion is 12 inches tall. And then I think there is another 12 inches of hanging, like a hanging portion above that.
Yeah.
So it's quite a big piece.
I'm assuming you use single crochet to make it sturdy, right?
Yeah, and the yarn itself is it's a raw cotton yarn, so it's already stiff anyway.
Right.
But I didn't want it to hang and pull weirdly. I wanted it to stay in shape really nicely and flat to the wall.
Yeah.
So I guess that's why that took a little bit long. I remember feeling really frustrated making this basket for some reason.
You probably because you thought that it would be completed faster?
Maybe I was too confident. I was thinking, oh yeah, basket, no problem. I could churn that out in an hour.
Yeah.
Guess not. But that's our bathroom. And that's all the things we have in our bathroom. That is all pink and
purple. Yeah. But it kind of fits the theme in the area, that section of the house, I would say.
Yeah. And I have to say, I didn't just choose pink because I like pink. We have pink tiles in our bathroom, which is why I decided to choose pink, so that when you walk in it and when you're taking like a bubble bath, you're like surrounded in like a very homogeneous pink bubble land.
You are the only one that takes the most bubble bath in this house, by the way.
Pink bubble bath, pink bubble land, yeah. So that's the reason why most of them are pink.
Yeah.
And I would have done a pink basket too. But I wanted it to kind of stand out a little bit more because, like I said, it's meant for people to take if they want to,
right?
Yeah,
correct. Yeah.
So I didn't want people to feel like, too blended in or couldn't find it. Or sometimes, your eye just glances over it if it's the same color.
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's our bathroom. Now moving on to the studio. Now the studio is a little bit more complex to explain, so I will leave a lot of things out because needless to say, everywhere you look in the studio you see some sort of yarn, some sort of whip.
Yeah.
There is no corner of the studio that has no crochet related things.
Yeah, I mean, because it's the crochet studio.
Yeah, so I'm gonna try to isolate out certain things that is really just for us, because I really wanted this episode to show you how we personally use crochet in our lives, not just ideas that you can do, but like actually what do we use crochet for? Like, how does crochet play a part in our personal life?
Yeah.
So in the yarn, I'm gonna omit anything that is a current order, like, so if somebody has placed an order with me to crochet something for them, and I call these like the order whips, I'm gonna leave those out. I'm gonna leave out any of the yarn. I'm gonna leave out any of the samples that I've done in relation to work or crochet or our business. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm only gonna mention things that are personal crochet things for us that have infiltrated the studio. Okay, so let's start with, let me see, I have 2 shawls hanging over the chairs.
Yeah.
So, and you see, the thing is, we see it so often that we don't think about it.
Yeah, it's just there.
Yeah, so I have a blue triangle shawl and a pink triangle shawl. And the pink shawl is, it's on our Instagram. So if you scroll down, it's the nicest, impressive what's the word? The virus shawl.
Oh yes, virus shawl.
Yeah, and it's really pretty. So there is 2, so we have a long work table. And there are 2 chairs on this long work table. One is Mel's workstation and one is mine. Mel's chair is her blue scarf, a blue shawl is draped over her chair, and my chair has the pink one. So that's how we differentiate whose section is whose.
Yeah, and it's funny, if the shawl is not there for whatever reason, I feel like I don't know where is my chair?
Yeah, so Mel would be like, wait, where's the shawl? What happened to the shawl? You know,
the shawl has to be on the chair. In
order for it to feel like, you know, I don't know, it's just so much a part of the studio's identity.
Exactly, yeah.
It's so funny to see. So we have 2 triangle shawls, and that's our personal shawl. We will never sell it. It's made from yarn that we bought for ourselves with our own money and not with the business money. So I would wear this shawl sometimes, you know, around the house, especially if it's really cold. In the house, I mean.
Yeah.
And then I have a grocery bag that's hanging here. It's a personal grocery bag, and it's like a netted, like a mesh bag, but it's in the studio because I'm trying to crochet a little pouch for myself to go in that grocery bag, so that I don't have to bring a wallet. I just have to put my money, my cards in that pouch.
In that pouch.
In that grocery bag. So it's in the studio hanging here because, you know, we're about to go on a holiday. So no way I'll be able to get to it before then. So that's hanging in the studio. The next we have a couple of plant holders. I do have some fake plants in the studio. They're like little fake potted plants, but in order to make them less fake, I have crocheted a little basket, so like
a little cup, like a crochet cup to fit
like a pot holder. Yeah. So the fake plant sits in it. But the thing about these fake plants is that they look so real.
They do, yeah.
They're really, really good
real
quality. Yeah, and I don't remember where we got them from. It's like one of those one-off kind of things. So I have 3 different kinds, and they each have their little crochet basket. And it works because I don't ever have to water them.
Yeah.
So the crochet piece stays pristine. And it's so pretty, and I have 3, and they're just like sort of spread out around the studio.
Yeah. I mean, it just gives a little bit of green in the studio. Yeah,
a more
which I like.
homely vibe. Yeah. And I tried to keep real plants in the studio, but our windows are UV tinted, so the plants all die because they don't have UV rays. So.
Yeah.
And then the last thing we have is my Rosie.
Oh yes. Miss Rosie.
If you've joined us on any of our Instagram live, you would have seen Rosie, Miss Rosie. She lives in the studio, and she's my dress form. And her name is Rosie because she's this red adjustable dress form.
It's so funny. I remember the first time you mentioned, I think, Rosie on the live, and I think one of our listeners or somebody that was watching thought you're talking about a real person.
About a real person, and it's really funny because everyone started saying, "Oh, hi, Rosie," and then I think she said, "You've lost weight, Rosie. Nice to see you today," or something along those lines. Yeah, so it was quite it was quite a hilarious, really funny, cute moment. So Rosie belongs in the studio. but she's wearing my clothes. She's wearing my crochet top. And the reason for that is because if I'm not doing anything, if I'm not making any clothing, because I sew my clothes too, so I do buy large pieces of fabric and I sew my own clothes and dresses from time to time. So when I am sewing on the sewing machine, then I need my dress form to sort of pin and template my, or draft my patterns. But in the meantime, she's naked.
Yeah, and it looks a bit weird if she's not, wearing anything.
Also because she's bright red, so it's like the first thing you see when you walk in. And she's adjustable, so she's got all the nips and knobs, and it's not as nice and elegant looking.
Oh, like a plain mannequin.
Yeah, like the one that's in the store.
Yeah.
So I've dressed her up in a crochet top of mine, so I will swap it out every time I want to wear something. I would just swap the crochet top out, but that crochet top belongs to me. So she doesn't have a set piece that, oh my god, maybe I should crochet her something like a proper set piece,
like a personal clothing for Miss
personal
Rosie.
for Rosie. I can use like regular cheap acrylic because I'm not ever gonna wear it, but that would be such a good idea, because people do come to the studio to get me to custom crochet clothes for them, and then I have to bring up my own personal ones.
That's true.
So maybe I should have one that is like just for Rosie.
And I think that the thing is that I think it is nice also because when people come into the studio, the first thing that stands out is actually Miss Rosie.
And the first time we brought Rosie home, Whiskey was not having it.
Yeah.
He was so pissed and wary of this new torso coming into the house, and he was like growling. But now it's just like another thing, So that's our... have I missed out? Oh, I do have a couple of coasters on the table, like crochet coasters.
Yeah.
But these are like yarn scrap crochet coasters because when I'm drinking my coffee, I don't want to stain on my white table. So I have one, Mel has one. In fact, this microphone is sitting on a crochet coaster because I wanted it to kind of like absorb some of the sound from the
vibration,
table. Yeah. So I think that's our studio.
Suddenly there's so many things you can do, like more things you can do with scrap yarn.
Yeah.
Wow.
And if you can just think about it a little bit more, think about how you can use things in your life. Think about what you could use that you could maybe don't have to buy. Oh, another good example would be if you need a wire holder, you could just crochet a little strap, a tiny 3-inch long strap, attach your buttons to the end, and that could be like a cable holder or cable organizer.
That works. That totally works.
This is not even the correct episode for it.
Yes. Yeah, we are getting a bit carried away.
But we're getting carried away. So that's our studio. 2 triangle shawls, Rosie's wearing my top, a grocery bag, and some plant holders.
Okay, moving on to our bedroom. And in the bedroom, I actually have more crochet items here, I think.
Yeah, that's funny. Okay, why don't you share your first item?
So, you made a tapestry piece
yeah.
for me with my Chinese character surname.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I really like that piece, and I have that.
Oh my gosh, can you hear that? That's Whiskey playing with his toy. He's got a little unicorn that he's like
chewing and munching on. Okay, I think we should hold him.
And even though we said earlier that we have dealt with the dog and put him outside, in the middle of all this, we actually had to edit a little bit because we had to let him back in. But then now that he's in, he's just being like... Oh.
Really active right now.
Can you hear him growling? Goodness. Okay, let's let him out again. Cut. Okay, sorry. We are back again for the 3rd time because Mel is now carrying him, and after about 10 minutes or so of like giving him some love, he's sort of chilled out a little bit. And he knows we're talking about him because he's eyeballing me right now. So moving backwards to Mel's tapestry piece.
Yeah.
So what happened was, together with the tapestry piece we did for the front door, I also was testing out Mandarin names that is not just characters, like family names. And I thought, what better to try on with Mel's family name. So I did it for Mel, and in her family name translated in Mandarin also has double meaning, so the word itself also sounds like the word yellow. So I made her a yellow mustard thingy with her family name, so now it looks like a family crest.
Yeah,
and
it does.
It's so cute, but it's a test piece, right? And she's not going to throw it away, so now she has it hanging on her wardrobe, right?
It's my name, right? It's my surname, so it represents something to me.
For you, yeah. But I don't have anything like this. So, and I talked about in our previous episode, I talked about how I want to do 2 Harry Potter crests.
Yes.
One in Hufflepuff for Mel. Oh, and Hufflepuff. Oh my
It's
god! I
also
just realized
yellow, yeah.
Hufflepuff is also yellow like you, and I want to do a Ravenclaw for myself because I resonate with the house. So Pottermore has sorted me into Ravenclaw. So that's what this piece that Mel is talking about.
So the rest of my crochet pieces are actually beside my bed, right beside my bed. I have a pair of crochet slippers that I made myself.
That I always step on for some reason or another.
You always trip over.
I always trip over, yeah.
This was the period where I was trying to master C2C. So everything I created was in C2C. So the crochet house slippers were also in C2C.
It was this piece that it's a house slippers that is made out of one rectangle and then it's like cleverly folded in a certain way so that you just slip it in, kind of like slip-on shoes, but it's done in C2C and it's like it's got buttons on it, so it's quite cute.
This house slippers, I remember, was pretty challenging for me actually. I'm not sure why. It could be the material. I think
it was because it was your first ever time working on C2C.
Was it?
Yeah, and we started your crochet journey off with C2C.
Yes.
So before that, you didn't know how to do. So I basically jumped straight in and taught you how to do a C2C. So as you were building that C2C, you didn't have any clue of what a single crochet or half double was.
Okay. I always thought that I started my C2C with a cardigan, but I think, yeah, you're right. It was with the house.
It was this one, yeah. And I remember it because I know that you struggled particularly with it because you always left out the final square on the increase side. Because, you know, if you guys done C2C, you know how it is when you're working on to your increase. When you've come to the end of the increase row, you slip stitch to close. There is still one more area, one more square to work on, which some people forget or it's easy to miss out.
Yeah, you're right. Okay, now it's all coming back to me.
So because that was your first time working with it, I think you struggled with the first piece. And then now that you've done that first piece, you have to make the second shoe or the second sock, right?
Yeah.
And I think you struggled to make it match, but you were much better at the second shoe.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. So but because I'm just wearing it at home, you know, it doesn't need to be perfect, and plus it's my very first project.
And we wear house slippers in the house.
Yeah.
So it was like perfect first thing to try. You know, it's not too precious. It's made with scrap yarn. So it's not like you're worried about buying too pretty yarn for it. It was a perfect project, I think. It was a good project.
And I mean, it fits, right? So at least I made a slipper that fits, and I mean, it works for me.
And the reason I always trip on it is because it's so huge. It's huge for me. Mel has size 40 shoes, right?
Yeah.
And I'm only at like 37. So size 40 to me is huge. And she has the thing about Mel is that she has so many socks and house slippers by her bedside. You think woman has got lots of shoes. Mel has got a lot of house slippers.
Yeah.
So I always trip when I try to leave to go to the bathroom.
I'm so sorry. I'll try to place it in an area where it's not so trippable.
It doesn't matter because for some way, somehow, I will find my foot tripping over it.
Sometimes it's not my fault. Sometimes Whiskey is the one that grabs it and move it over.
Oh yeah, Whiskey?
Yeah.
Whiskey loves to pick up this particular pair of house slippers and bring it around the house.
Yeah, or my socks. He likes stealing my socks for some reason.
So any of you guys have dogs or cats that like to do that? I don't know why, it's hilarious, but he would steal socks and house slippers. He wouldn't chew them. He wouldn't chew them up. But he would just, pick them up and carry them to different places of the house.
Yeah, so I'll be able to find one and I cannot find the other side.
And why do they do that anyway? It's not like he bites on them. He just holds them in his mouth and just walk around the house with it. Yeah. He will follow us up and down just holding on to this house slipper or whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, it's not always my fault.
Yeah, so that's Mel's second thing that you have?
Yeah, in the bedroom. And the next thing I have is a crochet Kinder cover.
Oh, yeah, one of the first few pieces I ever made you in our relationship.
Yes, yeah, that's correct. I mean, I read before I sleep sometimes, and it's nice to have my Kinder right beside me, and to keep it in like a nice cover.
Yeah, so Mel wanted like a pouch she was using this really old second hand, like it was like a free gift, and she was putting all her Kindle and her Kindle or whatever else in that pouch.
Oh yeah.
And I remember I asked her, why are you using this weird pouch? And she's like, oh, it was just whatever was lying around, just trying to reuse old things. So I decided to, I don't remember why, but just make you a Kindle cover.
I don't remember why. I think it was probably a situation where, you know, I want to crochet something for you. What is it that you need?
Yeah, but it was a surprise, I remember. So I crocheted her a Kindle cover, and Mel uses her Kindle all the time. Like, she's quite an avid reader, so she uses it till now.
Yeah, I do.
And now when I look back on it, all I can see is all my mistakes and how inconsistent my work was, and like,
why using this particular yarn?
I wish I could have done, like, use a different yarn, different stitch, maybe had a different kind of button, different closure, you know, because I think 7 years on, I think my work has really improved, and I've gotten some finesse with my own style, and your work. You know, now there's a particular way I like to crochet.
Yeah.
And
when you look at it, you always look at your own work and have so many criticism for it.
And I in general am quite a critical person on myself. Like, I'm quite critical of myself. Yeah. So, you know, when they say you're your worst enemy, that holds so true to me. I'm such a perfectionist, and I'm in the midst of, I'm working on myself. Oh, sorry, I just hit the table. I'm working on it for myself because it's not very sustainable. It's not a very sustainable work ethic to have, to glorify sort of perfectionism in that sense, but it's just the way, like, if I have an idea in my head, I tend to need to execute it perfectly, which I guess is why I have so many rips and so many things to frog.
Yeah.
Because as long as there is a section of it that doesn't live up to my vision, then I get, you know, really hard and disappointed on myself. So I like to say that I'm a perfectionist in recovery. I'm trying to allow things to be in their state and try to find beauty in it.
Yeah.
Which is why I guess Mel is like my second pair of eyes, because the things I want to throw, the things I want to frog, then Mel comes in and goes like, what? That's nice. That's beautiful. Let's use it for this, you know.
Yeah, but I mean, I can understand from where you're coming from as a designer, as somebody who's doing this for a business. You are always looking to do something new, to product design and come up with, like, you know, something modern and practical, which I get. But you can be a little bit too hard sometimes.
And I have an arts base, so I have an artist training.
Yeah.
So it's even harder. It's even harder for me to let go of it. And while the process is important, I think what defines really good artists from the mediocre ones is that they're not just focused on the process, but also the product itself.
Yeah, of course.
So, you know, I always hear people talk about, are you a process crocheter or are you a product crocheter? So do you focus on the product or are you on the process? And it can be both. It doesn't have to be one or the other. Yeah,
exactly.
And I really believe that the ones that elevate their crochet work are the ones who enjoy the process or have a specific process or document their process and their creative thinking, but also leading up to a conclusive vision.
Yeah.
And that makes all the difference. So this is a long spiel, but you know, when I talk about art, I get very passionate.
Yeah.
And I go on non-stop about it.
Which sometimes I don't understand, because firstly, I don't have an art background, and also I do only look at the finished product. I don't really understand your process of how you get there. So sometimes it can look really nice, but you would explain to me that it's actually pretty hard or too complicated to keep replicating it all the time. So yeah.
But that's also back when you had no idea how to crochet. Has this like vision changed for you since now you know how to crochet? Now you understand that when you are building, the little details also matter to you, because
definitely.
I can sort of see you starting to adopt this kind of mindset.
Yeah, definitely. I think now being able to understand the technicalities of being able to crochet does help with understanding your process a little bit better also. And doing it myself, some of it, you know, it
gives you more of an insight, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I find that recently the tables have turned a little bit, which is really interesting to say the least, because Mel would put on like a half done, like you know, she finished a grey t-shirt recently, right? You guys know about that. We talked about it.
T-shirt,
the yoke down t-shirt. And in the middle of making that t-shirt, she would come to me often and, you know, barge in and say, look at this. How does this look? Look at this portion. Look at this part. Why does it do this? Why is it like that? And she's all like serious and really overly critical. And I'm looking at it and I'm going, yeah, it looks nice. Don't worry, it will flatten out. It will soften out once you start building the yoke, once you start putting on the sleeves. And she's like all overly critical and like,
am I?
Suspecting of what I'm saying. She's like, are you sure? But look at it. Look at this here. Look at this portion. Really? Are you sure?
Well, I feel like it's because I still consider myself as a beginner, right? And I'm not so confident with my skills. I don't know. And I'm starting to make wearables for myself as well. And when certain areas the thing seem
too nice
to be flapping out weirdly, I get so conscious of it, you know.
But you see, that is the same thinking that I have. It's just a different subject, right?
Okay,
so when I'm building something and you say, oh, that's really nice, but then to me it's like, that's not my vision,
right? And
I'm sure it's not your vision to have things stick out
flapping out, yeah
funnily.
Yeah. Okay, yeah.
So it's always interesting to see how the tables have turned, and it's like so nice to know that you've sort of brought in crochet into someone else's life, and you've like started them on their crochet journey, because now she's the one that's telling me we need to set aside 1 hour tonight to crochet. We must, by hook or by crook, 1 hour tonight.
Yeah, I do that sometimes. Sometimes.
Okay, so
where were we? Oh, my Kindle cover.
Your
yes.
Kindle cover, yeah. So we've done for Mell the tapestry piece that's hanging on her wardrobe, her house slippers, and her Kindle cover. The final 2 pieces of personal crochet things we have are our bedside baskets.
Yeah.
So I have my own basket and this basket for me is not a random piece. I actually specifically crocheted something because I wanted a basket to fit in a certain area of my table. The way my bedside table is set up is that I only have a strip of empty space that would fit a basket perfectly.
Yeah, and it had to kind of be in that particular shape, right?
Yep. So I just crocheted one.
Yeah,
you know.
Whereas mine is, I think, a sample piece.
Yours was
it was a spare basket that we had lying around.
I think it was a spare basket. I don't think it was a sample piece. It was a coaster set that. Oh, in the previous episode we talked about clothesline crochet.
Yeah.
This bedside basket for Mell is done in the clothesline crochet technique. Mm-hmm. And I just wanted to make a basket. I just wanted to experiment, and we made a basket. And this basket is pretty cute because it's shifted from one house to another. It served many purposes in its lifetime. There was once it was by the front door for our change, for our loose change.
Yeah.
Then it became my bedside basket for a little while, but you know, knowing me, my hair clips start to pile up, the rubber bands start to pile up.
Yeah, it wasn't big enough, I think.
The watch straps, you know, the lip balm, the face cream. So that basket was not big enough for me, but it's perfect for Mell.
Yeah, I only have like 4 items in it, I think. Yeah.
So it's now on Mell's bedside.
Yeah.
So that and did I mention that my basket's pink?
No, you didn't, but I believe they would have guessed.
My basket is pink.
Yes, of course.
Because I have a pink themed bedside, and it makes it sound like everything I own is pink. It's not. It's a light birch wood bedside table. So Mell and I have the same matching bedside table, but I have a multi-charging stand. What do you call it?
Yeah, I think you can call it that.
It's one of those where you can charge your watch together with your AirPods, together with 2 different phones. So that device I have is pink because I have my personal phone and my work phone. Then I have my AirPods. Then I have my Apple Watch.
Apple Watch, yeah.
So they all fit nicely into one charging dock.
That's the word. Charging dock. Yeah. Right.
So then I also, apart from my AirPods, have a pair of studio headphones. Mm-hmm. Not sponsored, by the way, but you can studio if you want to. You can. So I have a pink Studio 12 headphone earbuds, and it's the exact same pink as my charging dock. So I just so happen have that same color of pink yarn. So I thought,
really,
just so happened. So,
okay.
And it's like a light baby pink. Like a light, soft baby pink.
No wonder you were... I think you grabbed the ball and you went to your bedside, and I don't know what you were doing there. I guess you were comparing the colour.
I was not only comparing the colour, I was trying to figure out the base. How big I wanted the base of the basket to be.
Right.
Yeah, so in the process of making this basket, I constantly went between the studio and the bedroom. I would pause everything, like if you're watching a movie, for example. I would make Mell pause the movie. I would run to the bedroom, do something and come out. So Mel would always give me this confused look.
What is she doing?
I just wanted to make sure that the basket base wasn't too big or too small for that space in particular.
Yeah.
Because that's the beautiful thing of crochet, right? We can make it however we want to.
Everything is customizable, and our bedside table isn't very big, so the idea of having everything kind of made to measure,
that's
maximize the
perfect.
space.
So that's that for our bedroom. 2 baskets, one for you, one for me. So that's our bedroom. While we're in the topic of bedroom, let's maybe just spend 5 quick minutes talking about our crochet clothing.
Oh, okay.
Because that's also kind of, I think it's kind of related, right?
Part of the bedroom. Yeah. Maybe I'll quickly mention mine first, since I only have like a couple.
Okay, as compared to me, right?
Yeah, for sure. So I have one where I recently completed. It was my yoke down t-shirt, the grey one.
The grey one.
And I have 2 other cardigans that I always talk about. One is my granny square one, which I'm really, really proud of, and the other one is my C2C cardigan.
And I just want to say that Mel filmed an Instagram reel or TikTok or whatever, what we posted it on Instagram Reels as well, about her process of making this crochet yoke down t-shirt, grey t-shirt. So if you want to go and check out and see how it looks like, head over to our Instagram at Crooked Crochet SG. Go under our Reels, or in fact it might have been the latest post, I think. But just explore, find your way to the Reel section, and you can watch the video. I think it's like a minute long, so it's quite I'm so proud of you.
Oh, thank you. I'm proud of myself. Yeah.
So that's your 3 things, right?
3 items, yes. Completed items.
Okay, so then I will talk about mine, which is kind of a lot. I'm just going to very quickly go through them, okay? Yeah. I have a blue V-neck t-shirt that I made. And I wore this. It's the one that I wear the most. It's my favorite. Because I think for some reason or another, all the elements of this t-shirt came together really perfectly. Like the neck is just low enough for me. Because I'm not... What's the word I want to use? I wanted to say I'm not modest.
I was about to say that.
But that's not true, guys. I'm very modest. I am just a little bit more body positive.
Okay.
So I like my tops to be a little bit lower than what the Asian culture would consider conservative.
Okay. Yeah. Very, very good words there.
So it's slightly less conservative. But I also don't like to show too much.
Yeah.
So this V-neck just comes down at the right angle for me, at the right depth for me. The sleeve drapes at the perfect length for me as well as where it stops at my waistline. I think it cuts me off at the most flattering part of my body.
Yeah.
So that I've never been able to recreate this piece.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? With made, like handmade stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You can follow the exact same pattern, but sometimes that's just what it is.
I agree with you, and I'm trying very hard to get back to this state.
Yeah.
But then again, I don't want to be making the same thing over and over again. So
Yeah,
there are a lot
of
of factors to why I only have one of this perfect piece. But so I have that blue V-neck top. I also have another blue top, but it's quite a lacy piece, so it's like a see-through. So I have to wear something on the inside, like a cami or a cropped cami on the inside. And this is made yoke down. And it's one of the first few pieces I ever did for myself a couple of years ago. And then on top of that, I have a olive green top that I just completed. The tails are still sort of hanging, but I've kind of left it already because to me, my mind is done.
Completed,
right?
yeah.
So if you have been listening to our podcast for a while, you know that I have a pink... I have a pink scarf the one I mentioned in the studio, the pink shawl, that for the longest time I left it. I was wearing it around the house with tails and stitch markers still attached to it. So it's one of those things where
once you're done, you're done. It doesn't include putting in the tails.
Yeah, I haven't yet had the chance to wear it out. So I guess that's why I'm not bothered to sew in the ends. Because it's a really pretty yoke down top also, but it's a button down the front.
I like that piece. It's the one you recently finished, right?
Yeah, it's the most recent top that I finished. Therefore the tails. So, and I won't be wearing it out anytime soon because the next 1 week or so we'll be out of the country.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sew in the tails just to leave it in the house for a week. So I'm going to do it when we come back. When I feel like wearing this top out could be 2 months, could be 2 weeks, could be 2 years, who knows, right?
And then you have no choice but to sew in the tails, right?
The tail sewing is by necessity only. So that's the olive green top. Then I have a dusty pink top. Now this dusty pink top was the very first piece that I made in this V-neck pattern. And it is actually the blue V-neck top that I really like, the perfect one, is actually the second piece to that. Because this dusty pink top is actually, the way I did it, I didn't compensate for it to stretch. So now that it's stretched out a little bit, the V-neck portion dips a little bit too low.
So it's a lot like more bigger than
the neckline, the V neckline is a lot lower and a lot more revealing than I wanted it to. So I had to kind of crochet a little piece that goes in front to cover it up a little bit. But then again, it takes away a little bit of the look. And because this piece is like a cotton with like a polyester or like acrylic polyester, it's slightly furry. So every time I brush against something, or like if there's anything that's Velcro, and it just brushes on it, oh my god, it rips out the fibers of the top, and it gets all fuzzy.
Fluffy,
So because of that, I don't wear it that often anymore. But that's another top that I actually will wear. I have another top that's like a black spaghetti top. So it's made like a bikini top. And then it's just ruffled down from the underbust onwards. And speaking of black crochet things, I have a black dress, like a spaghetti dress also. And this is, I just bought it from, I don't remember where. It's like a really old black dress that I have. And it's now a little bit too short for me, because now that I'm so much older in my 30s, I can't wear dresses that are as short as how I used to in my 20s. So, but I've kept it because I really like the neckline of it. It's like a scallop neckline with a really nice lace back detailing. So what I did was I put the bottom hem through a sewing machine. I put it on the stitch length of number 5. So if you know how to sew on a sewing machine, you understand what I'm saying. My stitch length is at number 5, so that's the longest. So I just went all around the edge of my dress. I sewed a stitch 5 single straight stitch all around. Then I came back with a crochet hook, a 2mm crochet hook and yarn, and I crocheted the border onto that stitch, so that now my entire dress has got a little border of like crochet in like a really nice crochet lace border all around it. So in case you know how to sew, you understand what I'm saying. So I wanted to explain the process a little bit. But if you don't know how to sew, basically I just put a row of stitches at the bottom with my sewing machine, and I just attach the yarn and the crochet hook onto that as though it's a chain stitch.
And that is one of the smarter designs that I've seen you do. Initially, when you were telling me about it, I couldn't visualize it, but when you finally finished it, I was like, wow,
it's so nice.
I cannot believe that you just crocheted onto your dress.
And now it makes me want to do this with all my dresses that are too short.
Just add a border at the bottom, right?
Not that I have dresses that are too short anymore, but maybe I can add it to the sleeves of some things. And it's really nice because I matched it to a really nice thin cotton yarn, so the look of it is beautiful. And all I needed was about like 3 inches of length. So I just did 3 inches in a standard double crochet, and then in a meshed row, and then I did a scallop edging on top of that, and then I topped it off with like a granny square, a cluster stitch, and I did some scallop designing, and then I basically shuffled through many different stitch patterns. And I don't have a pattern that I followed. I just went off what I felt was nice.
And the finished look is really good, because I think like black on black or similar colors is so modern.
I do agree.
And all you can see is the texture of that lace look on the dress.
And because I added it on, I sewed on the base using a sewing machine, and I crocheted on top of that stitches that was created by the sewing machine. It gives it such a seamless look. It's not glued on, so it doesn't feel like stiff when glue dries. Fabric, it feels stiff, but there's no glue. It's just entirely crochet, and then of course the sewing machine to attach it on. That's all.
It's so smart. It's such a smart design, not just the look of it, but the how you the process of doing it.
Which is frustrating, right? Because my a few of my better designs are done with no pattern, no template. I don't even bother to document it, and it turns out to be one of the best ones, which is frustrating because it just goes to show when I'm relaxed and when I'm not stressing myself.
When you don't think too much about it.
Yeah, when I don't think too much about it, then I create my best works, which is like... So that's a few of the tops. I also have one more crochet top. Actually, I think I might have a few, but I don't remember it right now off the top of my head. I have a nautical themed, like a French sailor nautical themed t-shirt. So it's blue with thin white stripes going horizontally across, and the bottom third of this t-shirt is a red.
Yeah.
So if you've ever traveled on Air France, it looks like the Air France outfit.
Their uniform?
Not the uniform, but the safety video of Air France has that French Parisian looking design. I tried to mimic that, and that was right after my trip to France.
I see.
So I tried to mimic that. I've never worn it out yet because it's quite thick. And also it's so precious, right? So Rosie is currently wearing it.
Right, okay.
And then I have two more cardigans. I have a pink cardigan, I think, and I also have a variegated olive green cardigan. That's it. I think that's it.
Yeah, pretty impressive though, the number of crochet tops and wearables that you have.
I do have a few more, but it's a wrong size, so I intend to sell them. So in my mind, they've become a part of like Cricut Crochet's inventory. So
right.
It's no longer my personal thing. So yeah, that's our crochet wardrobe.
You have this half black cardigan.
Right. Remember a few episodes ago I talked about how I made this crochet cardigan that is just the sleeves with no bodice section. Yeah, I have one. I have one in black.
I really like that piece, and remember I said the idea was so genius.
Yeah, and I'm currently in the midst of making one in green, but it's a whip that has stalled for the past, I think, 3 months. It's a stall whip.
Has it been 3 months?
Yeah, I think it has been 3 months. Or maybe 2, I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I really like that design, and I think this is a pattern that you can do in so many different colours.
I agree, and over again. Yeah. And it fits the weather, the climate here, because it's not, it covers your arms, but it doesn't overheat your body.
Exactly.
So yeah, so that's finally it for our wardrobe. This next last section, we will just talk about all the other crochet things we have around the house that doesn't quite follow this tour from room to room. So these could be things that it's just all around the house, just random bits and bobs of things.
Bits and bobs, yeah.
That I don't know, we just need. I shall start off, and I will say that all my tarot cards, because you guys know that I read tarot also, all my tarot cards have little crochet pouches, and they all the crochet pouches are made specifically with the vibe and the color of the cards itself. The deck. So if it's like a more bluish one, then I matched it with a blue yarn. So if it's a more, if it's the regular deck, then I have like a reddish one that matches.
Yeah, you know how I see it? I see it as each deck has their own character, like a person, and the crochet bag is clothes for them. Yeah.
That's so cute, clothes. I never thought clothes. I was thinking that they each have their own character and it's got their like backpack with them.
Oh, okay.
But clothes is much cuter, I think.
Right? Yeah. Like their own style. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's quite cute. So I have one really old, the Art Nouveau one, that it looks kind of old school, like in the Ottoman kind. Oh my god, guys, it was my stomach. I'm hungry. So I made like the little pouch in like a basket weave, because I felt like the basket weave sort of reminded me of the Ottoman Empire, where merchants were sending things in baskets. And
wow, that's so elaborated.
And like the Ottoman, I mean, you think about back then in the Ottoman Empire, the market trade was like booming, right? Yeah. So then I think about what makes that area, that the empire successful is their trades and trade routes and all that. Wow. Especially with the silk roads, right?
Yeah.
So then I think about baskets and like, say picking things off baskets. So, this Art Nouveau deck has like a basket weave.
You should totally showcase all your deck bags.
You think so?
Yeah. Okay. I think so. I think you should.
So that's for me. And it's not like I have one in my handbag, I have one in my bedroom, I have one like all over the house. I do have a tarot card box which I keep all my tarot cards in a display box. But then again, I also have pouches for them. So these pouches don't quite fit into anywhere, and I don't use these pouches for anything else but the tarot cards.
Yeah.
So if the cards are not in it, there's nothing else in it but like a little, like a tumbled crystal stone.
Yeah.
And then the next thing around the house are Crochet Pet Toys.
Oh yes, yeah.
For Whiskey. Whiskey has
all over the place.
He likes to take out all his toys and play with all his toys at
the
once.
same time, yeah.
So he never just takes one. He needs to play with all of them. So we always have crochet toys all over the house. It looks like a playground. Like it looks like a kindergarten.
It looks like there are 10 kids playing at the same time.
Yeah, it does. But it's actually all of Whiskey's toys.
Yeah.
And he would select one or two of the crochet toys every now and then to sleep on.
Oh yeah.
So it's quite cute. And then we also have, I think we talked about crochet mandalas. Mm-hmm. So we have a bunch of these mandalas just lying around in different sections of the house.
Yeah.
Sometimes they're just decoration. Sometimes we put like a crystal on top of it so it doesn't roll about. Other times
we have some hanging on the windows.
Yeah, we have some hanging on the windows as decoration. We have others that are just, like by the TV console. We have one or two that when we want to have our drinks and watch TV, then we can just grab one or two of the coasters there and then.
Yeah.
And then, my filming equipment. So we vlog. Sometimes Mel and I vlog, or sometimes when we make like Instagram stories or whatever. I have a little clip-on lens for my iPhone and a Rode microphone for my attachment for my iPhone that I can attach on. So I can just turn my iPhone into like a really nice filming equipment because I've got a clip-on attached lens as well as a clip-on microphone that's a really good quality. So all of that sort of lives in a crochet pouch.
Yeah, because it just makes it more portable, right?
Yeah, and it's a soft rayon. Oops, I keep hitting the table today. Sorry, guys. It's a soft rayon crochet pouch that was made with scrap yarn. So that's for me. What about you?
I have just a couple of things also. I have this really, really nice tote bag that Inez made for me for Christmas, but I got it for my birthday. Yeah.
It's a 2-for-1.
Yeah, so it's a birthday Christmas present.
I promised it, I got it earlier, wanting to give it to her for Christmas.
Yeah.
But I only finished it close to her birthday. So
my birthday is in March, by the way.
Yeah. So I deliberately kept it on a little bit longer and gave it to her for her birthday.
Yeah, but for what it's worth, it's completed and I actually got it, so I'm happy about that.
And Mel specifically chose these colors for herself. It's a brown, like a chocolate brown tone. No, not really. It's like a coffee.
Burnt orange color or something.
Yeah, it's like a coffee tone together with a grey, together with a burnt orange. So it's a really pretty, like tote bag that she now uses to put her laptop.
My laptop, yeah.
Yeah. So that's one.
And I have a key pocket. So I really like the idea of being able to keep my keys in like a little
pouchies.
Yeah, like a pouch, so I can find it easily in my bag. And I have that. And the other thing I have are actually bottle holders. I not only have one or two, I have
bottle holders too.
Several bottle holders all around the place.
And we have to say that these bottle holders that Mel and I have are actually test pieces for bottle holders and bubble tea holders that we use. So bubble tea, it's basically boba, right? So we have like little holders made for drinks. And they're all test pieces, so because they're functional pieces, we don't want to throw them away. So Mel and I personally will use these, and I have friends who are nice enough, who are willing to accept these test pieces. And I tell them, you can use it when it's funky enough, you can throw them away. I promise I'll make you another one. Thank you for testing it out for me.
Yeah.
And they're all really, they're really sweet about it.
Yeah, and it's all over the place because it's just easier to pick and go. I have a couple that's like near the door,
and
some
different
in the kitchen.
Colors. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we have some that are slightly smaller, made with thinner yarn, and others that with made with thicker yarn. So also depending on the bag that we're carrying out.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
If it's a smaller bag, we'll choose like a smaller one. And then, I think we're down to our last thing. And that is just random pouches for anything.
Oh, yeah.
So we have a ton of random crochet pouches around the house. This could be for wires. This could be for our AirPods. It could be for our battery packs. It could be for, like the Nix and miscellaneous knickknacks.
Yeah. And sometimes when I just want to go on a quick errand, I grab a small pouch, put in my keys, some money, and that's it.
Just run. And it's actually more convenient than you think. And sometimes where I want to put some things together, or like when I'm carrying a bag, and maybe on that particular day I'm not feeling so well. So just a little information about me. I have asthma, really bad asthma, and I have to carry an inhaler with me everywhere I go. So on the days that I'm not feeling too good in my body, and I feel like I want to carry an inhaler with me, I would want to put it in a pouch in my bag. So then I just go into where our pouches are and I just grab whatever one fits, and then I just throw it in my handbag.
Yeah, and I think in this particular case, like if there's an emergency, I know where to find the inhaler.
Yeah, because it's in a particular bag for it. Or other times, if I want to be a little bit more vain and go out and bring my lipstick or my makeup to touch up, then I just go and look for a pouch that fits, and then I put everything in, and it's like perfect.
Yeah,
I think we probably have pouches of every size possible.
Yeah, for sure.
So, and I love making pouches because I think it's so versatile. It's so
useful, yeah.
And like especially wristlets. So the pouches I'll make, I'll include a little attach on wristlet, so I could just slot them onto my hand and just run my errands.
The funny thing is, you'll be surprised at what you can find the use for these pouches for. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I'm sure that somebody would say, "What do you need 10 crochet pouches for?" But I do. And let me tell you guys a funny story. So I made my best friend a key pocket. So it's one of those designs where you pull the key out and it's attached via a crochet like string or rope or whatever. And then when you're done using the key, you pull on the other end of the key pocket, and then the key just kind of shoops back inside.
Like hides in the pocket.
Yeah, do you like my sound effect?
Hides in the pocket.
So I made one for her birthday. Now, over the many years, she has accumulated a lot of crochet things for me, like a little small crochet pouch or pocket for her wires, because she brings a battery pack that requires wires. So she has that, and then she has another one for her tissue packets where she has 4 or 5 of them. She stacks them together, puts them in the bag. And now she complains that in the past, all she needed to do when she's coming home really late at night is reach into her handbag, feel around for a crochet anything, and she knows that's her keys. Now she's like, crochet? Oh no, that's not. Crochet? Oh wait, that's not. Crochet? Is this the one? No, it's not. How about this? Crochet?
Yeah, she probably has like 5 different crochet items in her bag. Yeah.
And I have 2 really good girlfriends, like 2 best friends that way, and both of them tell me that they struggle with the same issue. It's like too many crochet things. And for this other girl, she also has a crochet pouch that I made for her sunglasses.
Oh right.
So she's like, now when she needs to pull it out, she's like, what crochet am I feeling? Like everything is crochet.
Yeah.
And she said, and this is Vicky. She said, her colleague asked her, "Oh, you must really like crochet." I don't take you as a crochet person, like you must really like crochet. And then she's just, no, I just really like my friend. I don't think she explained, but it was kind of like an inside joke. So she came in and told me about it, and we just sort of laughed.
That's quite funny.
Yeah, so that's a little side story for you guys. And I have I make them all like matching coffee holders and coffee sleeves, and I like to match with them. So it's nice when you get to make your own things, because you can like match with like exactly. Mel and I. Oh wait, we don't have a couple anything, right?
No, we don't have a couple anything.
I think
because
we did
our styles
this.
are so different, and the colors that you like and I like are so different also.
Yeah, true. Not even in the same material.
No.
Like, we always try, but we always end up being pulled in different directions.
Yeah, always.
We just want to have one couple something.
We'll find one. It will happen one day. Yeah, one day.
My pink top and your pink bandana.
Yeah, if you can spare some of your pink yarn, I will make a bandana for myself.
One day, let's promise ourselves now, okay? One day we'll have a matching something.
We'll have a matching something. Yes, one day. I
one
promise.
day, and it cannot be a pouch because that's not counted.
No. It has to be something that
Like special
we'll
enough,
think,
right?
We'll think about.
Yeah, we would think about
Hopefully, something that we both wear. Okay. Hopefully.
Cute. Yeah, they would be so cute. Not a scarf, right?
No. I don't think that will work here.
Well, we can wear it when we travel. Okay, anyway, we'll think about that. So, I think we have, let me check. We've come to the end of this episode.
So
it's quite a long
It is, yeah, I
episode.
think. Yeah. Also because we have quite a number of crochet items, as we've mentioned at the beginning.
I was so sure that, when Mel sort of asked me, how long do you think it will take, because we have to go to sleep and wake up at 3 in the leave the house at 3 in the morning, and it's already almost midnight. How long do you think it will take? And I say like, half an hour max, or 45 minutes at the most, and we are double that.
Always.
This is insane.
Recently.
Yeah, recently. Our episodes have been going into the part 1, part 2, because it's just so much to talk about, which I'm glad it's good, because we are sort of in a groove or in a momentum.
Yeah.
And guys, happy 50th episode.
You are right. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Happy 50th.
Half 100.
We have hit 50. At the beginning when we started this, I guess we didn't think much about it.
We had 50, and also we have over 15,000 listeners now, so that's really exciting.
It's really, really exciting.
Hello to 15,000 of you guys out there. I don't know, my mind is blown. I can't imagine what that looks like in person.
It's just the support, and after every episode and we see the numbers growing, it just makes us want to continue and to keep contributing to all these episodes. Yeah,
and I'm sorry if I don't always reply or get back to you immediately, because we do have a lot of messages, but I will slowly get back to them every now and then when I have a couple hours of spare time. I will go through the messages and reply to each of y'all. So if you have sent me a few messages and I haven't yet replied, don't be mad at me. Just maybe you can drop me another message until I try to reply. I try to reply to everybody. I really do, because your opinion really matters to me, and I don't know what valuable information I could be missing out from you guys. So I really appreciate you writing to us,
and talking to us.
So if you wanna talk to us or send us a message, you can find us on Instagram. We are at Crooked Crochet SG, or you can send us an email with any questions or any help or anything that you want. Email us at crookedcrochetSG@gmail.com, or if you want to, you can text me directly. And in fact, some of you have texted me directly for crochet classes. And so, we work out the time difference, but it's fine. It's exciting to be teaching at different hours of the day, knowing that I'm connecting to people all over the world.
Yeah.
So you can WhatsApp me or send me an iMessage, because I'm on an iPhone, at +65 91272743. And if you want to follow us on our holiday, because even though this is pre-recorded, by the time you're listening to it, we're already halfway through our journey.
Yep.
We intend to vlog this journey and post it on our YouTube, maybe, a couple days combined or something. But if you follow us on our Instagram, we will be posting heavily on our Insta stories. Yeah. Oh, and I don't think we mentioned where we're going, right?
Oh, no, we haven't.
We are in Singapore, so we're just taking a 1.5 hour flight up north to this place called Penang Island, and this is off the main island of Malaysia. Mm-hmm. So it's just a small island off the side. We'll be staying in this area called Georgetown, and it's just this nice, quaint,
really chill,
full of street art, like little cafes. And it's basically our neighboring country, but we considered driving up, but that would be a 10-hour drive, so we didn't want to waste 20 hours driving there and back. So we're going to Penang Island in Malaysia, and we'll be there for a week. I'm excited.
I'm really excited. All the cafe hunting, all the coffee.
Yeah, and it's been, I think, like 2 or 3 years since we've been back to that place. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how the environment has changed due to COVID. Like so many small businesses had to close down during COVID, and it's really sad, because Mel and I have our favorite haunts that we like to visit. Yeah. So it would be just rediscovering it all over again. And also my best friend is from that place. So we're gonna celebrate her mother's birthday with her and just hang out with friends. We have a few friends coming down with us too.
Yeah.
And our kid is going to stay at home and take care of Whiskey.
The house. Yeah.
So okay, with that, we will let you go. It's been too long. This episode has been way too long, but I'm so glad that you guys have stuck with us till the end. Don't forget to follow us on Instagram if you want to, join us on our travel journey. And we will be back next week. As usual, don't forget that new episodes get released every Sunday. And with that, we'll let y'all go.
Until then, see you guys next week.
See you. Bye.
Happy Sunday. Bye.